Bang! Neeves knives. I'm Jared. My lovely wife CARHARTT is at work. And in this video, I'm just doing a really quick review on this Pearson little Sheath. These are handmade. You can kind of tell they are handmade. So I did sharpen this, but I only put a working edge on it. I didn't record it in any way. But we'll talk about that here in a second. The handle is a blue micarta, I believe. I mean, it looks like a cross-cut micarta, which is really smooth and feels really good in the hand. It has like a teardrop effect where it's like a palm sweller, where you have this little portion right there that your fingers really wrap around, but then it gets palm filling through here and nice and small in the back for the pinky. Jimping's placed really nice and really good jimping too. I love seeing jimping like that, jimping that just bites and actually works. I do like to see that. And then this is a very versatile EDC fixed blade. This isn't going to be your camping blade. I mean, you could camp with it and do food prep and stuff like that. But what I mean is that it's going to be a little task knife, which in all honesty, that's probably the majority of cutting for most people. So this is going to fit right at home in a lot of people's fixed blade EDC. It is a full tang, and it's fairly thin behind the edge. It basically has a full hollow. This is like a great example of a type of grind I love to see in a lot of ways, and then some not so much. But what I mean by is that it's from the stock thickness, it tapers down right here, and then it's basically the same thickness all through here. So it has a beautiful hollow grind. Love to see that. Nice, strong, yet good piercing tip for utility purposes. I did cut with it a little bit. You know, the type of knife this is going to be, you're not really going to break up your recycling with it. Not saying you can't. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because of the size. Like, when I'm really holding it comfortably to cut up cardboard, I'm holding it like this, so I only have this much portion to really break down cardboard. Now I can hold it like this and break it down, but you know, I'm kind of held back a little bit, kind of just pushing up into my palm. And don't get me wrong, it cuts like a beast. So breaking down cardboard, it works really good. It's just, you know, there's gonna be knives that just work a little bit better for that now, but to do it, it works great. And for utility cuts, I mean, it just works so good. So, you know, in some ways, it's such a great performer. But you know, the handle, the way the handle is, if you're back here and you're actually cutting up recycling, for my hand, this is my hand I'm talking about, it's not going to be the best for that type of thing. I like to be right here. So it's going to sit really good in whittling and maybe a little bit of food prep. You know, cutting up some stuff, maybe if you're camping, like, meaning like for food and, you know, vegetables and stuff like that. You know, you could cut strings and you can do lots of little tasks with it, but then there's going to be other tasks that other knives will probably be a little bit better at. The sharpening choil is done great. I like to see a sharpening choil like that. The plunge grind is way under the thinness of the edge. Now, there are a couple, not even really a couple, there's only really one negative, I would say, and I expect it from something like this, meaning a hand ground blade. It does, the geometry changes a lot. If you look at my edge really quick, you'll see one side, I think this is 300 grit, is pretty good. It tapers really good, and then it goes from thicker to thinner, back up to thicker up here at the tip. Now on this side, you see how the bevel's completely different. Now, that's the exact same angle on both sides. But you see the bevel is thin right here. So this is very thin right here. In this area, it's super thin. Then it gets a little thicker right here. And basically, the bigger the edge bevel, the thicker it is in that area. Now, it's still very thin all the way through the whole thing. I just mean it's a difference. So right here's thinner than right here. And, you know, and on this side, it's a little different. But I've seen a lot of that from hand ground blades. It's just kind of typical. It's not even that big of a deal. So many things are well done on it. And this is a user knife. This isn't a knife that you, I mean, I guess you can collect these. These are collector's items, I guess, in a sense. But what I mean is that it's going to be a little workhorse. And that's the beauty of it. It wants to be used, and it should be used. And that's where it will shine, is in use. Now, the sheath is a Kydex sheath. The retention is so-so. You see it does have a little bit of play, side to side a little bit. But it still hangs on pretty good. I mean, I can pop it off pretty easily. I wouldn't worry about it falling out or anything like that. I mean, you'd have to really try to launch it out. So it does have good retention. And it's just an all-around great knife. Everything's smooth on it and rounded and contoured. That might be a little bit of a negative, though. Luckily, this jimping is there to really lock you in, because when you push this jimping, this part goes up into your hand like that. So it kind of locks it in. But without the jimping, it could definitely spin in your hand because it's so rounded and contoured. But like I said, you have this flat spot back here to lock you in to prevent that. All in all, I think these things are awesome. I think these are great little fixed blades. And I think that anybody who actually, and I don't mean actually like in a disrespectful way, but anybody who loves to use their knives and loves a little EDC fixed blade, this is a great buy. I mean, totally a great buy. This is going to perform, work good, and I bet the steel's pretty good too. All I did was sharpen it and cut with it a little bit, but the little bit of cutting and the sharpening I did do, the steel feels like it has a decent heat treat on there. So, yeah. Love to see knives like this, you know, just in their raw form and made for use. I love that. It's not trying to be beautiful. It's not trying to be pretty. It's not trying to be anything else other than what it's made for. And that's to cut and to be a good knife. Thank you guys. I love you guys. Peace out.